in favor say aye.
Aye.
The first thing on the thing, we talked about it, putting the spinner like we had down there to the other park, at Memorial Park, and it says it's been real popular there too. So we got a quote from the Three Little Pigs. I think it's what? third little pig. My bad.
Just one.
The third little pig. The third little pig quote, and we got that here, and it comes to the total of $22,272. And is that just like the same thing that's at Brianna Connor's part? The green goes to a point like a Christmas tree.
There's a picture of it on the next page.
Yeah. And like I said, I was down there to the park today, and that was it gets used. And I think it probably goes from people from 4-year-old to 10-year-old.
Covers a lot of ages.
It's very popular.
It got this up, and at that price, and we need to put something down there to replace the this pirate ship, which got in such bad shape. Not that it wasn't used, but it got in such bad shape it really was unsafe. So we need to bring that because of the cost. We need to bring it to the town council, don't we? $20,000, get their approval to spend that kind of money.
Yes, sir. You do have. The council did make a commitment to put some more funds in the park equipment fund. So you do have some money in that now.
So that would be open to it.
I make a motion
Make
to
a
send this
motion.
to council.
Motion, and I have a second. Second. Thank you, Brother Jay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, and Don, this is why I'm really glad you're here, because like I say, I think we said something to Dave about David Lambert selected, but he said he didn't really care. What's going to be the best location for those two chess tables?
I think Mike has an idea of where to put them.
Yes, sir, I do, and I'll give me just a second, and I will put it up on the board for you. We have the tables. We're going to put a concrete slab under each table because they are rather heavy. You look at the board as we have it right now, and this is not a recent picture, unfortunately, but gives you sort of an idea. Right where the pointer is where our pavilion is right now. Mm-hmm. And then over on this side we have a soccer field. What I'd like to do is go between the pavilion and the soccer field and line them up along this line here, probably 20 feet or so apart, maybe not quite that far apart. Put them both on a slab, but put them just outside the pavilion and before you get to the soccer field. That's open space. It's really not committed to anything.
This was going to say that people can really go there and be to themselves when they do it. I wasn't thinking about it that way, but when you're playing chess, you probably do want to be some peace, a little bit of peace and quiet. And normally there's not anybody there playing soccer, so yeah. Is that okay with committee? Anybody want to make that into a motion to put it right behind the pavilion and before the soccer field?
Before we do that, we had talked about a hangout more for the teenage kids, and I saw exactly what we need this weekend over at the Jellystone, at Yogi Bear Jellystone. And I'll go take a picture and send it to you if you want me to, Mike.
Okay.
Simple. And it's right outside the far restroom. If you go into KOA and go back by the marsh, all the way more to the old Piney Island side, little Piney Island side. And it was a slab, 4-post, and open beams on the top. And instead of having hammocks, they had more of the, I don't know what you call them, disc hangers almost. We have one over at Brianna's Park that's a little bigger than what they had. It's kind of like a ring with a net in it, and it hangs. They had hammocks on the end, or at least on one end, more that 2 people could sit on. But every single one of these had a body in it. One lady was just in it with her baby asleep on her stomach, and she was just kind of swinging
and older
back.
teenagers can definitely do it.
Every single one of them had a body in it. And I was going, to the restroom, and I thought, well, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. It just wasn't hammocks. Really
So it'd be
good
better that
looking,
you did go
sturdy.
in there, because like I said, you know who you are.
I mean, it may be that I could go in to them and get the whole specs, but tomorrow I'll go. I didn't have my camera with me.
Can you do that and get where
I'll
they got
get a
them
picture
from?
and I'll email it to Mike.
Go ahead and ask them too what they know where they got them from. That would be great. Yeah.
Well, where in here were you planning on doing something like that?
Well, I went and looked again now that the pavilion's in place, and my thought before was that backside there between the pavilion and the property line,
Back here?
maybe. The fitness trail is supposed to go all around that perimeter, correct?
My understanding, yes.
On that back line. We still have the space that's over toward Smith Street that may be a future parking lot, but you know where I'm talking about.
I do, and the bathroom is right in this area, and to the
And then there's the adult
southeast of that
fitness.
is the fitness area.
Right.
And then when you get much past that, down in this area,
So over in here is perhaps future parking, but there's been no other plans for this. And
No,
this
and
thing
it's-
isn't very big at all. It could fit over here with the chess tables, or even if it was just behind the chess tables. But when we position those chess tables, if this has been approved that we can get that hangout right back in there, then I think it would still be visible from the pavilion. Wouldn't interfere with anything going on over here. But I'll get the dimensions.
That was my
for
point. It'd be nice if you could have the chest next to this future possible
Mm-hmm.
hanging basket deal. If you could have them near each other, because they kind of complement each other nicely.
I'll ask them about some specs and prices, and I will send it to
and
you.
we've got those. We'd like to go ahead and get them installed, because they
Yeah.
have been sitting here for over a year now, well over a year. In fact, I think they were here when I came to work here in 2020. So we'd like to get them installed, get them out of their shop, so they can be used, and before anything happens to them.
But we don't need to bring a chess location to the 40 council, do we? Or
No,
do we?
I wouldn't think so.
So we'll just go ahead and get that done. That's what you're talking about. You got to talk about the chess now.
Yeah, I
She's
was
talking
just-
about it. I was kind of getting confused when he said he already has those. I was like,
No, I just brought it up because it's the same area, and when
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw it this weekend, I thought that's exactly what I'm talking
Before
about.
we go in there, like I said, we're going to pour concrete slab under these things, because they are very heavy, and that'll keep them nice and neat and clean, and keep them level without getting sunk in. We don't have to move them every time we cut the grass and weed eat and that sort of thing. So when we're going to pour a concrete slab for them, we want to make sure they're in the right spot, because if we pick them up and move them, we're starting over again.
And with the donation that Team Brianna gave, was it like $45,000 or something? Is that something that we could use to fund this hangout thing that I'm talking about?
Let me, and it eludes me right now what account we put that in, but let me see what account we actually did put that in.
It was used, I mean, it was put there for future
Right.
things
I
going on.
believe
So
we still
this
have an
would,
account for Brianna's Park that we put that in. But let me make sure. I will speak out of turn.
okay. And in the meantime, I'll look in my playground books to see about these swing, I don't know what they're called. Disc.
Well,
They're
that's
they're sort of like
exciting.
hanging disc.
well, that's exciting because guess what? I mean, that's one thing, as a campground, you can take little kids anywhere you want to, but they do have to entertain teenagers or it don't work out for that family, you know what I mean? So that's good. I mean, that's what they're saying. That sounds, and yeah, that would definitely, if the money is in that account, like I said, it'd be definitely a good place to use it. And the people that donated would be tickled to death.
It would be a nice
But I do
addition.
know, like last week, that we had a church that we had to that's opened up for youth, and we had 25. A lot of people came from down. I'm not saying they came from the park, but I can tell you, a lot of people came down from that road, walked from that road to come to church for church recreation. And a lot of them came from that. we got to deal with it as a church. We got to figure out access in through there. I mean, I don't want to block it off by no means, but for them to get through. But yeah, a lot of teenagers came through that way. absolutely. So you're gonna get, pictures and
Yeah,
availability.
I'll get the
if they can-
information,
if they
I'll
can
get the
us stuff.
information to Mike
And like
well,
you're saying, and like Mike was saying, we do have money, and thank you very much, Vice Mayor, for keeping that on, I think seriously very much. I do appreciate, like you say, parks and stuff for people to have, I call it free fun. It's not free to the town, but free fun is, I'm more than all for it. Yeah, I'm
I might
sorry.
get you the picture before I actually get you the specs, because I'll probably go take the picture this evening, and it'll be a few days before I can get over there to talk to him.
But that's great. And like I said, hopefully we'll have the funds, like I said, that you've already donated and worked for, and that would be.
Unless they would like to donate it after I talk to him.
That'd be fine too. Hey, you're preaching to the choir there. Yeah, it would be. I'm all for that too. So we got chess tables, and then the next one is going to be to select a site for the beach volleyball at Memorial Park. We know where we had. Everybody remember where we had it before, and there was actually one there put there in that same exact spot the other day. It was a little upscale, but it was, I guess, a private people that put it out there.
That was running almost like,
Left field. Left field, hard left field.
Left field to home, whereas the other one we had ran from like left field to center field, that direction.
Yeah.
So it was running in
Yeah. That.
that direction.
And this is something for a future thing. Like you say, I'm not going to lie to you. I know the rest of the council wants to put parking. I would say suggest go ahead and put the parking that the council wants to put out there, and let's see what we got to deal with the rest of the thing, and then fix it up to its max. I want to keep it as open space as much as possible, not just because the helicopter from the Coast Guard use it, or anybody else that has to come there to land a helicopter for emergency purposes and use it. But like you say, it's nice to have go play football, soccer, little league baseball, and softball, restricted plate softball, which you can still do with the field, even though you all get the parking side. I mean, like I say, there's maybe some funds coming up that we can get our parking in, but after the parking gets in, I want to maximize that baseball field to make it as most usable as it can, not just for open space, but for when the Coast Guard comes out, they play frisbee, they play football, they play everything. And whenever I make it attractive for people to come, and they have their park events for youth to come out there and use it, to have a good spot to use. So we want, in the real world, they got to level it up and get it to a level that it can, you don't go out there and break your ankle when you're out there running.
I foresee that parking, you could almost do like you did on the left side, on the right side,
Well,
in a great slant.
actually, what I did the other day, I sat down and laid this out and basically took this area here and flipped it over as a mirror image
On that side.
on this side,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would
Yeah.
take up the least amount of room.
using the road down the center to service both sides.
Yeah.
And if we do that, measuring it, simply measuring on here, we can still get a 200-foot home run fence here, which is basically a little league and softball field. The only thing you couldn't do is play high school baseball there, which for the most part was played at high school. So, but
Mhm.
little league and softball games were perfectly appropriate on a 200-foot fence.
Get rid of that darn thing in the middle too, wherever that is.
You done with this?
That island in the middle.
This?
It's about the parking.
About parking.
Oh, this island. Yeah.
You get rid of that thing too. You don't need that in there. Not sure why that was ever put in there, actually.
So by getting rid of that,
Architects love this.
you'd have a dueling in and you would save some of your field with that parking.
That's what I mean. It would be it wouldn't be very intrusive. Because you would still have right much field left over. Because that parking, boat parking, you get nothing to slant on it.
You could leave that turn to that last one, like you're saying,
Well, you can see
there, and then you part the opposite direction, going up, flip it up to the other side, you know what I
Well,
mean?
mirror image, it would all be slanted in this
Slanted that way?
direction.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like I said, just flipping it from here over as a mirror image, I think it would work very well with a center road down there servicing both sides.
But if you do take care of
And
that
it would
island,
accommodate with trailers?
Yes, it would be identical to the trailer parking on this side, except it would be on this side as well. And when you pull out of the ramp, which is going to be twice this wide now, you can pull
And
to
so how
this side
many-
or this side.
How many parking spaces does that add?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About 11, but I've seen upwards of 15 and 20 parked there. They park all over the top here. They go everywhere.
But you'd be 11 on that side. But
That'd be a
after-
big
after-
help.
I mean, we doubled the size of the ramp, additional parking, especially if this ramp comes out as nice as we've planned it. It's going to be a very popular ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna do like the county did at Queen Sound? And they staved it and put their,
Well, means and methods are up to the contractor,
Yeah.
but I don't know that any contractor that wouldn't do that because
it's never been done there before. That one I can tell you.
So where-
I never seen it staved there when they done the.
Where are you thinking the volleyball court is best put?
well, where it was before was up here in this corner, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
It was in this area.
That's where I would think you'd want it again.
So
That's
Jay,
good.
being you're not,
It ran from left to center before, I believe.
And if the let me lay out a 200-foot fence here.
I thought it was-
What did I do then?
Anybody remember what the complaints were about it, other than it was put up without permission?
oh, the last one, we never made about to take it down. I know
Who the other
of. I
one?
don't.
There were council people that wanted it down because
It wasn't me.
it had been put up without.
It wasn't me.
I thought it was more over in here, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was out here by the road,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not positive of where it is. It's just where I thought it was.
This was on the channel side of the pavilion. This one was the last one that they put out without permission.
Yeah, it was,
I would like to use the field as much as humanly possibly open and stuff. But it'd be nice, like I say, that
But out there where you're saying close to the road, you've got the possibility of the ball going into the road. If there was,
according to how you angled your
You could put up a little fence too. Kind of put up a little fence there between the road and the court.
yeah. I'd like to save as much.
yeah, that road, just the main road goes along with the curvature of the field,
Man,
basically. It
can
was
you do
designed
225 on
way.
that measurement on those lines and see how you come
I'm
out?
learning how to do this without a mask now, but that's 200 feet right
Can you
there.
do
from the
225?
225.
Yeah, I really don't want no fence out there, no way. I'm not gonna lie to anybody about that. I don't want a fence.
That's roughly 225. That's not going to give you much room for parking.
Go on across there with that on the other side and do that bow. You got, if you done the measurement, it's pretty tight. Bet you're close. I bet you're real close. If you measure that, what you got there,
On this side,
and do both sides at 225, put your radius in it, I bet you're darn close.
you asked me to do a lot of things here, Mr. Chairman. My finger.
At 225?
AutoCAD, you got AutoCAD on that?
No, the county doesn't offer us that
Mm.
in ACO map.
You got plenty of room to stick it there.
So you got room in this corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's 225?
That's 225. But
Okay,
what
that's
is-
what I'm saying, that they in that corner, because we want to do 225 on the other side, I think you got enough room for
I
parking.
think I looked it up, it's, the beach volleyball is 30 by 60.
Yeah,
believe.
that corner's gonna be the place for it. And if you do 220, can you do 225 on the other side too and do other thing, or that's not gonna happen with the
With
technology?
that radius, no. Let's see. Look up.
Can you leave that other one up, the other mark up, that one up, and without having to go, no, that goes away.
Yeah, that'd be, we don't want to take all that time, but
I think it's gonna work.
I think your volleyball court would work well here.
Yeah, that
It's,
right there in that corner,
You've got some handy parking right there in the middle.
yeah.
It's away from tennis and basketball and the playground.
And
Not-
and you're saying the good poles, the good net, was $1,900?
I called, I find a company that specializes in sports equipment, especially volleyball, tennis, things like that. And a park grade for a public park, for the net and poles was $2,000.
Okay.
Just under $2,000, I think it was $29 under that.
Now, by saying the same way, and excuse me for the thing, I think I'm all for wanting to hop on both real now, but probably putting them up, probably best off do it in the spring. That way you're not going through all the storms and thinking it's not going to be used in the wintertime no way. You know what I'm saying? I say we buy it, have it.
Well, ask Ellen what the complaints were about it before. Because there were enough complaints that they removed it. But I don't recall anything except,
Did you hear?
I don't recall anything except that it had been put up without permission. But whether there were problems with its location or not, I do not recall. But she will.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. You can hit it a right-handed batter, foul ball can hit them real easily with the ball. I mean, way around that one.
She'll tell you details. I don't know. I know there was a lot. I don't know. I think
Well,
Coast Guard put it up.
we'll bring this actually as 2000. I will bring that to council too,
She'll tell you.
and then Miss Allen will ask Miss Allen at council.
She'll remember.
Yeah. So would anybody like make a motion to bring the $2,000 volleyball park grade volleyball net, and we're probably going to have close to 3,000 time we put the beach sand in there.
No doubt.
So yeah.
Again, I wouldn't do any of that until the spring.
But I'm saying, but go ahead and get it on the, get it wherever we're going to do it this spring. That y'all got to go ahead when the spring comes, order it and get it in and have it. Go ahead and take care of it. Get it. Make a plan. You know what I mean?
Okay.
What is it? Get a motion for to have the, like I said, $3,000 for the beach volleyball, park grade equipment and the and beach sand and for to do it.
I make a motion.
Do we have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We'll bring that for the council too, and then we'll ask Miss Allen, and we'll get Miss Allen's, and the only thing I can see, and then when we had the same problem we had, you could easily hit us baseball or softball into it, but it never happened. I mean, but can it happen? It could.
She'll tell you if there were any other issues.
I think she'll remember that.
I know she will.
Just check.
It
She'll remember
serves as
about
a
it.
joint
Absolutely
sandbox
remember.
area.
No.
You made a complaint, where they live?
I like this one. Do you really have a closed meeting in here? Okay. I like to have a closed. I've done this before. I've never had a closed meeting before. So we'd like to have a certification. We got to have in accordance to 2.2-3712-D Code of Virginia to go into closed meeting.
Motion.
Motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.